Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola Facebook / webcast photo discussion. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Mike Carroll and Bill Englehart, two of Tuscola's oldest,
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Yeah.
most knowledgeable, sharpest, best looking,
Thank you.
and they're humble too.
I'm the one with the blue hat.
And shortly before the program, we administered cognizant tests and found out that they were adequate.
Well, on the low end.
Don't put off anything later.
So give the real quote if you can.
He's that was part of the cognizance test.
Don't do the whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're still, I remember in college in psychology, and I've always been worried about this. If you're psychotic, you don't know it.
Right.
So the rule of thumb was, if you think you're psychotic, you're not. If you don't think you're psychotic, you could be.
So do you think you're psychotic?
Well, that's the thing. What if this is all a dream? But anyway,
Bob Newhart woke up in a dream.
Bob Newhart, what a good comic.
Great comic.
I used to, way back in the 60s, we used to have the big records, Jonathan Winters, Bob Newhart, Bill Cosby. Newhart was great.
Yeah. So was Jonathan.
I read, and you probably read the same thing. He was selling insurance in Chicago, and made up these little stories, and someone said you should put out an album from your stand-up, and he had never done any stand-up. He'd never been before a live audience. So they booked a show for him and recorded it, and that album won an Emmy. It was the first time he was ever in public.
The unbuttoned mind of Bob Newhart. I threw all those things away. They're probably worth a gazillion now.
We had, I think we had that album. Who was the one that did the Kennedy imitation?
Oh,
that was good. We had that album.
Well, his career ended quick, didn't it?
Well, yeah.
Since Kennedy was assassinated.
Yeah. He was
Rob.
I can't remember.
Starts with a minor. K. Starts with a K.
Can't remember. Boy, he was wonderful.
I'll have to look that up. So Facebook screwed up on the images this week. They're all out of order for some reason. And so that may make it a little difficult for me following along. But anyway, we'll get to them. Anything before we...
Von Meter, was that it?
Von Meter, that was it.
Von Meter.
I think.
Yeah, Von Meter. Okay, well, David, so you're not going to know the answer if Bill and I throw a name out.
Well, I may. It may just take me a little longer to find it.
Find a picture.
Okay.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, we're not in a hurry. We're retired. We're just sitting here on our butts doing nothing.
I think you'll know some of these.
Okay.
That's why you don't wait too long to tell someone something.
Yeah, and I know that. Come on, we know that guy. That's the old Northward football field. This is about 1959, 58, 57, 58, 59, 60.
Boy, it's a wonderful picture.
Yeah. And I know
Mike just gave us 7 different years.
Well, I said from 56 to 60 when they practiced at Northward. I'm guessing 58 or 9. Can you give us initials? Because I know this guy.
This is 1956.
No.
And this is EB.
B?
B as in boy.
Earl?
Is that a Bass? Eddie
I
Bass?
was going to say Bass. B is the only bean.
Ed
Bean.
Bass.
Ed Bass.
Ed Bass.
There you go.
Played with Ron Bean. That's
Yeah.
Kitty Kish's house right over to the right.
Yes, I know. I saw that. I
Now that could find that
acclimated
easily.
to this whole setting.
Who's the love of your life, Mike?
Becky Cook.
Boy, he was fast on the draw, wasn't he?
Oh,
Sitting over here.
Oh,
It
wait.
helps with her sitting directly in front of him.
I'm under the gun, bud. Oh, that's Johnny Ware. That's Johnny Lewis.
Lewis. Mhm.
That's
I'm sure Joyce has seen that picture, probably has it, wouldn't you think?
Well, she's been tagged.
Mm-hmm.
there's Dieter's father-in-law. He was a great football player for Bucko. That's
Bill Ware.
Bill Ware. Yeah, that's the old 56, 57 team.
Boy, these are wonderful pictures.
I didn't know. I can't believe they took individual shots like this.
Gee, many.
Well, I would have run a team photo, but I didn't come across one.
Initials.
Well, let me see if I can find this one.
Is that a Chevy or Pontiac?
FL, according to Joyce Lewis.
Fred Lewis.
Fred Lewis.
John's brother.
That's Stan Dotson. I think.
Boy, that field looks bare, doesn't it? There's no grass on that.
According to
Well, give us the initials. Maybe that's not Stan.
MB.
Pictures.
MB,
Yeah.
B or V?
Well, M as in Mike and
Look at
P.
clear those are.
Mike Branham.
Boy, Mike Branham.
Mike Branham.
That's according to 3 different people on Facebook.
Yeah.
The name on the back of the envelope says Jane Ann Wright.
Well, she's a little tall for Jane Ann.
He doesn't look like a Jane, but
No, he doesn't.
That's Jane Ann's class, I think.
They might have had a thing going.
she probably ordered the picture.
Mike Branham. Well, that looks like Kenny Taylor from Texas.
Well, let me see if I can appreciate Facebook putting these out of order for me.
Now, these guys won the Okaw Valley, didn't they?
56, I think they
Conference.
did.
Yeah, because they graduated in 57.
Who'd you say this is?
Kenny Taylor came up from Texas.
That's what I've got.
I don't remember hearing.
Phil
about him.
Flanagan, Phil Flanagan,
Yeah,
quarterback.
Quarterback. I knew that. I didn't know Kenny Taylor.
He was tough. Fullback.
Didn't stick around, did
Oh,
he?
that is Olin Fromm. No, this second. Initials?
Yeah, I have to find the picture.
Could be Utterback.
Well, I don't have any guesses on there, but some of these pictures have the names on the back.
Utterback or Fromm?
There's no name on the back of that one. And no help on Facebook, so apparently I just loaded these this morning, so
Okay. Oh, that's just a second. Initials? I think that's KF.
McFadden.
No.
Fadden.
Got initials on this one?
yeah, I gotta find the picture because they're all out of order.
Ken Farber.
AF is what Joyce Lewis,
Kenny Farber.
Keith Farber.
Keith. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kenny. That was his twin brother, Kenny.
I called him Deadeye.
There is
A Fry. That's Ed Fry.
Eddie Fry.
Some guys don't change. That's like you.
I look exactly the same.
I know it. It's amazing.
Yeah, you do.
If you forget the hair and the weight and the skin getting all mottled. There's Bino,
Oh, yeah. There's Ron.
Ron Bean.
Oh, that's a great picture.
That is a great picture.
Saw Ron the other day driving this new convertible.
You can almost see Larry in him, can't you? A little bit.
Well, right
face.
there you can a little bit, but I saw him driving this convertible through the park. Thing was so clean.
Well, every bean car is clean.
Every bean car is
You could
clean.
you could eat your breakfast
You
off the
could
hood
eat
of a
it, yeah.
car owned by a bean.
Man, he
Doesn't
was.
sound right, does it?
No, it doesn't.
There's Bruno.
Bruno, Jerry
Jerry
Breen. Good old days.
Well, I'm trying to catch up on my pictures.
I lived,
This
David,
is wrong end of the field.
I lived across the street, 402 North Niles, and used to go and watch those guys practice over there. Bucko became coach, I think, in 56.
This was his team.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Jerry.
Nice guy. Oh, that's Van Vors's car, Nell Van Vors's.
Mhm.
19.
But it looks like the house looks like Chris's now. I mean,
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't, yeah.
This car looks brand new.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what, that's about a 23.
I wasn't around.
That's not a Duesenberg, is it?
No, I don't
Is
think
that
so.
a doozy?
Could be. Look at the hood ornament.
It's a Hudson.
Oh, a Hudson.
That's a Hudson. Wow.
Beautiful car.
Wonder, does Chris have that?
Well, I've never seen it in Tuscola before.
Me neither. Steering wheel's on the wrong side.
Well, maybe the picture's flipped.
Could be. A la Cementi in the
Could be English.
Gazette.
English.
Yeah.
That picture in the Gazette of them is flipped.
Looks like an old Buick, about a 52 Buick.
Something like that.
52, 34.
Fender skirts.
Mm-hmm.
No, kids today don't. A fender skirt, what's that?
All right. What they are is a pain in the butt when you have a flat tire.
That's true.
You gotta take that fender skirt off.
Boy, the girl looks familiar.
They all look familiar. Got any
Boy
initials?
on the right. This is the 40s, late 40s.
Got an initial on any one of the kids?
Well, let me see if I can find the envelope. Now I had I think this is it. The last name is Pointer.
What?
Pointer.
Pointer. Yeah, that's the picture. I've got two envelopes. This picture and the next one. They both say Oma Pointer. Pointer is spelled two different ways. One says Murdoch, Illinois, and the other one says Tuscola, Illinois. And this one is from 1944. The next one's from 1954. So may have lived in Murdoch at the time. And then we have that one from 1954.
Look at the little boots.
Can you
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah, he's got his pants cuffed, got to show off those boots.
I have my
Looks a
boots.
little bit like a pointer.
My boots are bronze.
Like a pointer, yeah.
Boots?
Those boots.
You bronzed it.
When I was little.
Well,
I don't know. That's back in the day.
Mike's got his baby booties.
Well, you were the only child, so they had the money, probably.
I don't know about that.
Let me see if I can find this picture, see if anyone. Yeah, nobody's commented, so.
That's from the
There-
70s, but these are out of towners.
That's either twins or husband and wife. You got initials?
Well, the name on the envelope, CH.
It's out of towners.
Candy Hill.
Candy Hudson?
Candy Hill, it says.
Well, I think it's Candy Hudson now.
No, it could be. It's 1976.
I wonder. It looks a little bit like Candy Hudson, doesn't it? Works out the bank. I don't know.
I said the 70s because of the hair.
That looks like the place Bob Hastings wanted you and Greg to go raid. Remember
Yeah,
who owned that place?
Martin.
Martin, nursing home.
Nice refrigerator.
They put the ice in
That's
the,
the ice box.
that's the ice box. They used to bring ice into the box, didn't they?
Squares.
Yeah, and ice stove. So I don't know. I suppose this could be the nursing home. It says J.L. Bush kitchen, breakfast table, etc.
Mr. Bush lived on the corner
But
of,
the old Methodist church.
yeah, where Stillman lives now, Spillman.
Or Stillman.
But I suppose that could be the home. Oh, a calendar.
It says coal.
Coal company of some sort, right?
Coal. Looks like a pass through to the kitchen, maybe, or from the kitchen to the
Clothesline.
dining room. And it's got like a built-in under here. It's interesting to see these old, how people lived, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the pattern on the floor.
You can't
Is
get
this a
that.
different house?
You can't get that craftsmanship anymore.
It looks like they took the caution sign off the back of a buggy.
Yeah. Or the train ran into the house.
And then put some skid marks on 3 sides.
Corner of Sale and Niles.
Chrome was a big deal back in the 50s.
A lot of chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Got your hot point oven over here. Automatic, it says, electric.
I guess the Bush house.
Too big.
Looks like a Martin house. Nursing home.
Could
Mhm.
be. What's this say? Phil's naphtha soap chips.
Yeah, look at that pretty snazzy light bulb
Yeah,
arrangement.
look at that. Look at that light fixture.
Right above the sink, too.
Right
That's
over the sink, yeah.
Keep on going down. What's that thing on the right? Looks like something you see at a dental office.
Coffee pot.
Spit into that.
Yeah, you've got
Grinder.
a faucet over here, and then you've got a faucet over here.
Well, you can't have enough.
Yeah,
faucets.
water was a magical thing back then.
I don't know, this looks like some sort of a chopper, maybe, of some sort.
Some kind of Nazi confession thing. Put your nose in it.
Got your old wire fly swatters here.
The light bulb's bothering me. I've been gone a long time ago. Oh, yeah, fly swatters in the,
You don't see fly
Food
swatters for sale
preparation.
anymore, do you?
no.
This was one of my mother's favorite paddles.
Yeah. Oh,
One of
no.
those wire-
Fly swatters don't hurt. What hurt me was the 2x4 with the nails.
It's kind of a do a little
Yeah.
blow up of some of the interesting cabinet drawers. Oh, it looks like they have a pet.
Yeah, water bowl.
Where they feed the mice.
The wallpaper's beginning to kind of fade a little.
Looks like could be replaced.
Yeah.
Looks like your church, Bill. Is this you almost going in? That's the Flesser gal on the left. That's
Irene and George Flesser.
Irene and George Flesser. George's almost not recognizable.
God dang.
Good looking guy back then.
Yeah.
Irene was always nice. wasn't she?
Irene looks, I mean, I can
the same.
identify her, but if they showed me that picture of George Flesser, I don't think I'd.
Looks like
Number
his
one,
dad.
he's smiling.
He's smiling. George never smiled in the store. George was not happy running the store.
No.
Irene was always happy. And then George's mother was always there speaking to you kind of in a Greek, did you ever
Mhm.
understand her?
Oh, never understood her.
She was nice.
His son, Nick, their son, Nick, lives
Yeah.
in St. Louis,
Yeah,
now, I believe.
I met him a few years ago, doing real well.
Yeah.
Doing real
He
well.
was a nice kid.
He was. He has good memories.
George he wanted to be out of here so bad.
George
Well,
was
several,
happy. George was happy when they retired and went to Florida.
Florida.
He was finally
He
happy.
just got out of Tuscola. Boy, he and Bob Hastings played some ornery tricks.
Well,
on
he'd
one
get
another.
Bob to look up at the ceiling. He'd say, "Bob, look at the ceiling," and he'd reach over with scissors and cut his tie off, and then he'd go tape it to the mirror. Yeah, they were ornery. One time, Nick Flesser got a great big recording system and put it out in Bob's backyard of trains and jet planes landing at 4 a.m. And Bob woke up and saw George run off to his car and went out with a shotgun and shot it, destroyed it. It got expensive.
No,
Their little games.
George liked Nick liked to play golf.
Yeah.
Okay.
there are several of these pictures there. It says Easter parade. It looks like there's just pictures of people coming out of church. 1951.
Well, they're coming out backwards.
Or maybe they're going in.
Now this is a church on Pembroke.
This is the old
This
Lutheran
is
church.
Lutheran.
There's Mabel Hole and Gail Hole in the middle.
Yep.
Look at that. And that's a Ron on the left, I think. Gail looks sharp there, doesn't he, with that hat?
Mm-hmm.
Bill got married in that church and then they closed it down immediately. Demonic possession was the reason given.
Betsy Holt says Gail and Mabel Hole in the middle. Tim Holt says Edna Christine, Art's wife, holding Sue Ellen.
Sue Ellen?
Christine-
Oh, that's neat.
That's your
Yeah.
classmate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sue
Art
Ellen.
Christine- Art Christine, my mom's brother, then my mom, Mabel Hole, my dad, Gail Hole, and my mom's mom with her dad, Clara Henry Christine, at the Emmanuel Lutheran Church on Pembroke.
Very good.
Sue Ellen graduated in 1966. She's passed away now.
Mhm,
What a sweet picture.
mhm.
Huh.
Got initials on that?
Well, we're out of order on, so I gotta find it on here.
This is Bill's church. So they ought to have all of them. This may not be your church.
Well, I'm trying to identify that.
There's
house now.
different churches.
This may be Catholic church.
Okay, there's no name on this one. But I just posted these this morning, so people haven't really had much chance. Looks familiar though, doesn't it?
Does.
Those cars are the 40s.
Oh, that's late 40s. It looks like post-war, 47, 48, 49.
Mike, that's a brick street. Is
Yeah,
that at Methodist Church?
This could be Methodist Church. Looking over at the
Uh-huh.
Bush House over here,
Right.
across the street.
Got on her Easter bonnet.
Hmm.
Another Easter bonnet.
That's a Methodist Church.
That one's
Pictures
definitely
look good.
Methodist church.
You'd look good with a hat with a lot of flowers on it.
Yeah,
I'll buy you one
great.
this weekend.
Mm,
Where do you buy hats with flowers like that?
I don't know.
I don't think you do.
I think you have to make them.
Is that Reese? Bob and
That's Bob
Renee
Ian
Reese.
Reese.
And there's Maury
and Sonia.
and Sonia Reese.
I'll be darned.
Look at that. Little Maury.
Got on his bow tie. Bob Reese.
Maury rose way up into
Huh.
Apple Computer. Very successful.
Ian was
Ian was worked out at the
Century Motors.
Century Motors.
Forever.
Bob looks sharp there. Look at him.
Oh yeah, man, I'm telling you. Uptown.
With all the old cars.
Yeah, there may be, it might be 1950. That one, the middle one looks like it's 50.
That plate, I don't know if we can get that plate or not.
Well, if we had a plate reader back then, we would.
Which plate?
Left, the
Left.
other way.
Other way.
Zero in on that.
436906. Does that mean something to you?
No, always looking at the top for the year.
Oh, the
It's like a 5.
Well,
so
let's
it's
think about it.
50s.
Maury was born in Maury was born in 45. How old is he right there?
44.
I told you what year these pictures came
He's
from.
2 years.
And he's in Libby's class.
Oh, 3 years. I'm saying this is 50. What year did you say it is? 40?
51, I think.
51?
This is March 26, 1951.
So he's what, 6?
6 or 7.
She graduated in 63.
Yeah, she was Kenny Stroll. She was
She was in
64.
Sarah's class.
64.
Yeah,
Sonia was 64.
I think so.
I think so. And Maury was with that Mark Bunning, Jim Manwaring, Cliff Klauser, Judy Wright, Libby Kegley, Bob Wessel, great 63 class. There's 3 of them went into the Hall of Fame. Arnhem Bear,
Arnhem Bear.
is that Steve?
Steve. I don't know.
Well, it looks like Arnhem.
But it's Arnhem. But look at that. That's about a 1950 Chevrolet sitting there with fender skirt
Hmm.
And clean.
and clean.
I think that's Steve. Now that's Kleiss on the right.
Ed? That's
Ed-
the Catholic
I think it's
Church.
Ed Kleiss. It could be. Not sure.
Now I've got to find the picture.
Well, people dressed nice back then. They look at it, pleated slacks,
Well, look at
nice
you.
overcoat.
You and I are dressed nice.
Well,
aren't we?
I suppose. We, at least we got the memo about the hat color this week.
Janice Moody says Jack Kleiss on the right, question mark. Toppy says Agnes Jordan, Pat Boylson, and Chubb Kleiss.
Chubb Kleiss. Okay. That's Pat Boylson. There you go. A lot of Kleiss. There's Bill's church, and we don't see him in yet.
What year did you get here, Bill?
What year did you come to Tuscola?
Tuscola,
Yeah.
June of 1954.
So this was before Bill was here.
So the church was booming before Bill joined. And the demonic possession thing kind of set in.
That's where the car was parked when we came out.
Yeah. That was still parked when you got married there?
Had several slogans on the
Did it?
windows.
Did it?
Yeah,
Hot Springs tonight?
yeah, something of that nature. Some of the decal boys
Those
decorated.
decal boys will do that.
Uh-huh. This Methodist,
Yeah.
obviously.
Can you zero in the top of the stairs there? We might know that guy.
Now, wait a minute. If the big window's on the left
And the wind's coming from the right.
and the wind's coming
Hit a
from the
low 3
right,
iron, hit a low
the
3 iron.
the opening, no, is not right.
Uh-huh.
I looked this photo up online to make sure I had the right orientation. And this is the front entrance is over here on the left, and there is a door with a staircase coming down on the right.
Yeah, if the wind's out of the left and the magnetism is
With a
north,
smaller window in between
it flies
the door and
south.
the big window.
Yeah.
I actually spent a lot of time trying to figure out if this picture was oriented correctly.
Yeah.
And
They had too many stairs there.
It looks like a fire drill to me.
it does, doesn't it? Well, I figured Mike would know what this group of people.
This is Mrs. Helm, school librarian.
On the right is Mary Carmack. Is
Who
that
is,
right?
yeah, it's Mary Carmack, but this is familiar. But then Mrs. Helm.
librarian.
librarian at the high school. So I would say it's about 1954.
Oh, you think? I think it's 1894.
Mm.
You're looking to the future.
This is in the basement at the library.
It is 1954.
Well, it's
Ah.
right there above their heads. He's
Full
pulling a
Women's Club.
He's pulling a Mike Carroll for a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That was
these are
cheap.
your tricks.
I'll tell you what, that's not right. They're my tricks.
Sue Wetzel says far left is Evelyn Warren's,
Oh, that's
Ah,
Evan
there you
Wood,
go.
Sure. We
That's
got,
Carol's mother.
Mhm.
and then Jim Irwin says second from left, Ms. Lena Helm, and then Maureen Deaver Purcell says Nora McNeil and Mrs. Carmack.
McNeil.
Doc McNeil's widow.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't see Becky in this picture.
I don't know, someone hung their rug on the wall. This is still the library and they put a rug up there to hide.
The book, that's where we keep the old yearbooks.
It used to be looks like a stack of newspapers there in the back. Maybe magazines or something.
Yeah, we keep,
We should know her, but I don't.
All right. Maureen Deaver Purcell says second from left, maybe Mrs. Walmsley. Says Jim Irwin, Bill Irwin, and I grew up across the street from old judges Walmsley, Fuller, Helm, and Helm. Was there also a Judge Baldwin? And Marlene Lincoln says third from left is Dr. Maud Taylor. And Kathy Hanner says lady seat on the right is her aunt Lita Jane Hunt.
oh, Lida J. Hunt. lived
Lida
behind-
Jane,
Bill-
she starred in The Music Man.
By, by Bill Hoke's house, right?
That's right.
the one they tore down. It looked like Abraham Lincoln's house.
Yeah, it's in between the Catholic Church and Hoke's house.
Mm,
Lida Jane. I
I
think.
remember her.
It was exactly like a Abraham Lincoln
Yeah.
Federalist style house. Really nice.
We got something from there. They had a sale.
Mhm.
Can't remember what it was now.
Okay, on the upper left is Pat Boylston. Lower left is that the Sturgill boy?
I don't know. Who's the
Bo Nick-
Dragon Master?
Bo Nichols is that Bo Nichols on the right,
Far right?
down low?
I don't know. Clean cut boys.
I like this comment online. Who are in photo? Thank you. Well, yeah, that's what we'd like to know too. That's
Yeah.
why we put them on there. All the envelope says is Boys State.
Yeah,
Uh,
Sturgill, Wilson, and I'm saying Nichols.
1952.
Oh, 50, well, that could be Bo Nichols. That was his.
Neat.
So, how many of those did you get?
Well, I don't know if I got any of, it, but I think that's Pat Boylston, Sturgill boy. And I think that's Bo Nichols, lower right, but it may not be. You know who that, wait, go back to that picture. The lower middle, is that Denny Barber?
Good golfer.
Oh, quarterback in football.
Wasn't that George's
George's son.
George's son? He went to he was up in Chicago,
Oh,
belonged to Butler National. I
Yeah.
think Joe Wills
Oh,
Talked
he's
about
very,
him.
very successful. Yeah.
very successful. Those are what we call good boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this looks like another county board
Yeah, it is.
way back when.
Oh, who's that?
1957.
It's not Ray Lee, I don't think. Well, that looks like second from the right up high is Bill Hancock.
Dad.
Bill's dad, who was named Bill Hancock.
David Kent Coy says seated in the center of the front row is his great grandfather, Alva Curtis Strader. Served as supervisor of Boundary Township for 29 years. Let's see what else, what other comments we got.
Hmm.
Chubb Connor says Mr. Strader was a remarkable man. Marine Diva Purcell says, I think back row far left, Lou Brown, hospital administrator.
Oh, Peter Brown's dad. Peter Brown was in our class.
Jim Irwin says, now that I look back at the picture in the back row, second from left is Otto Ott Boyer.
I thought that was old Otto. I really did.
Yeah.
Now that he mentioned it.
Yeah.
He
Now that
says,
someone says his name.
he says a close family friend, wife Irma, who worked part-time during doing surveying with his father and owned a farm in the country near Oakland known for raising turkeys. They had two sons, one son, Grant Boyer, I believe married to a TCHS business teacher, and today in
Right.
County, and Treasurer George Edwards is married to Ott and Irma's granddaughter, Cynthia.
That's
This,
more,
this is a guy I'd like to.
yeah, we should know that guy. I think he's
Yeah,
the
he-
lawyer for the board. Who would that been back then?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh boy, that's an old picture.
You drove that thing, didn't you?
Eckhoff. I remember those guys that drove for him. Eckhoff out of Indianapolis, started with the plant. Bill Barnhart was the manager. Eckhoff.
They were across the street to the south down by Panhandle, weren't they?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Where Bryant is now.
Bryant Recycling.
1956.
Yeah.
Probably made good money hauling for USI.
Oh, they did. They did well. Albert Shields drove for him. Marvin Branch. Well, we can't see the sign over here
Yeah,
on the
let me
corner.
lift it up.
I think that says Decatur, doesn't it? Yeah, Mattoon, Champaign, Decatur.
Route 36, you're just leaving town and going under the underpass.
This is right.
Yeah.
This is the clover
Yeah.
of
Overleaf.
Route 36 and 45.
You're going west.
Bud Rice's house looks different, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
he painted it.
I don't think any of these buildings are still there,
No,
No.
the
which
house.
is why a lot of the pictures in this envelope are just, pictures of the viaduct and they look just like they do today. But this looks a little different from what it looks like today.
Yeah.
This is 1940.
Oh my goodness.
So this is 84 years ago, what that intersection looked like. Isn't that cool?
It really is.
You know, when you do black and white with the kind of a fog, it looks like you're in eastern Siberia.
Mm.
Initials, he looks familiar. If you can find him.
Well, let's see if
This looks like 1940s. Early.
envelope. The envelope says April 13th, 1940. Let me see if anyone has
No name.
no name online, but it says first name is Walter, and I can't really read the last name, but it says DeKalb. So
Oh, Walt Benner worked out there, but
That's
Not
not Walt
1940.
Benner. That's what, the first thing you said when Walter, I thought of Walter Benner, but that's not.
No, it looked like an L, like Lunner C or Lunner, something like that. So
Might have been one of the big shots.
may have been one of the big shots.
Yeah.
he didn't look like a guy that stacked seed corn in the
Not
warehouse.
hardly.
This picture was not in an envelope, it was just laying loose.
It's a wonderful picture of these ladies.
So I have no idea who they are or what the
Like
reason.
the entire town of Hugo. Hospital, Jarman Hospital, the old hospital. Right there's where I got,
I think Mike was born there in that room.
I was born in Jarman, and then when I was age 7, I had 6 or 7 had my tonsils out. Got up in the middle of the night, went to the bathroom and noticed my tallywhacker was all wrapped up in tape. I think my mom slipped in a second surgery on me,
I think so.
unbeknownst to the Michael.
That was
Doing bad. Is your tonsils down there? Funny place for your tonsils.
well, I guess whatever you did to deserve that, I bet you didn't do it again.
Yeah. Fluorescent lights.
No, that's a one-time surgery, I think.
1957.
Well, that would have, I'd been 10 years old. I was a little earlier than that.
So this is the hospital where I was born as well.
They'd open the windows, let the flies come in. Yeah, old Jarman. Very private bathroom. That's the waiting, that's the waiting room coming in the old,
Mhm.
from the east, heading west. That's the entrance into the, where the visitors area to check in. And there's the hallway, main
Mhm.
hallway's right on to the left. I remember going in there.
Looks like maybe a storeroom.
Little lab. That's where they took your tonsils when they were done. Jack Allen,
Bet you know who this guy is.
back
Yeah.
when he
Jack,
worked at
giving you
USI.
the finger there.
Yeah,
I was gonna see if I was gonna do this and see if you could guess who it was just by the hands.
yeah. Thank God he wasn't mad at me.
So he lost that finger pretty young then.
Mhm.
Every farmer back in the 40s lost a finger or two.
That's a good picture, Jack.
This is a young Jack Allen.
Boy, it sure is.
One of all those Allen boys were great, big, strong guys.
This is 1954.
It was Bob and
Wow.
Earl, Bob and Jack, and was it Earl?
This was
Who was Mike Allen's dad? Was Shorty?
Yeah.
10 years before I was born.
Big, strong guy, great guy. Great public official. His wife is still alive at 97.
Yeah.
Or 8, something.
Taught Bill and I in high school.
Mm.
That's Claude and Myrtle something. Flowers growing out of the cake.
Well, I've got a name, but let me see if there we go. Nobody said anything online. This is 1947 F.A. Fullerton 50th anniversary.
My goodness, they were married in, wow, 1897. That's something. 50 years?
Mm-hmm. What it says on the envelope, 50th reunion anniversary.
I got my better half here at my left. I told her to jump in if she noticed anybody. You should have known that.
Yeah, right.
You were born the next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Quinn, Sally
Yeah,
Quinn.
Shirley Quinn.
Shirley's name back then was, what was her maiden name? She was class of 55, I think. Shirley.
I just can't get over how good these pictures are. that
Well,
Pat-
Pettit was a pro. I mean, he was a pro. Plus, he had a great big good camera. Does he give her maiden name?
McMorris.
Shirley McMorris.
I wonder if we still, wish we had our proofs for our senior pictures.
Mhm.
I mean, they would be different.
Well,
than
David
what
will
they
come
are
up
in a yearbook.
in 10 years. If we live long enough, David will get to our class.
A lot of comments on this picture online. So you can find these pictures on Facebook with the comments that people leave.
Who's our sponsors this week, Dave?
Sponsor this week is Elite Builders.
Elite Builders.
Wow, there's this. This has got
Well, Chubb Connors, it was Chubb Connors' class. It was a lot of people. Hausman's.
holy cow. There's about 100 comments on this picture.
Yeah.
I'm flipping through them to see if they're.
People stayed around Tuscola, didn't they? Seems like they had the plant, so they went to work at the plant.
Well, Carl was a worked at the
Postmaster.
post office.
Yeah.
Master for many years. They were leaders in the First Christian Church.
Yeah.
Shirley's still here.
So Becky, you want this one?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm looking to. It's a little troublesome with these pictures all being out of order. David Kent Coy says, I think this is my uncle Marcus Earl Watson and his sister Frida Watson Morris's father, Solomon Earl Watson. And
Earl Watson's father?
well, I'm trying to follow my uncle Marcus. Solomon Earl Watson looks like Frida Morris's father. And the name on the envelope is F. Moore, so that may have been who ordered the picture. So it was probably taken for Frida Morris.
Hmm.
So I would say that's probably right. Solomon Earl Watson, 1887 to 1966.
69 years old.
This is one of those cool, iconic.
Look at the colors. It looks like the grade school teachers that used to beat me with a paddle. They had no humor.
Hmm.
Look at the color tone on that, David. Isn't that great?
Yeah, this is
Contrast.
the
Picking
original.
up those, look at that, picking up those shadows on her dress, the folds.
Looks like a velvet type.
Yeah,
Remember those old hair curler type things that they used to?
burn your skin.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1940, and the name on the envelope is O.L. Can't tell if it's Story or Stony or Stovey. O.L.
Hmm.
S.T.O. something Y.
It's a wonderful picture.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone can read the writing,
It's like Story.
could be Story.
Hmm.
1940.
Well, now this is the top one looks like a weaver. The bottom one looks like got initials on this.
He's got a high school ring.
O and R.P.
What? O?
O and R.P.
Brothers.
RP.
O.P.
That's Orbital and Orb Prophet.
That is Orb.
That's red standing and that's Orb sitting.
1952.
Hmm.
Isn't that a cool picture?
That is a great picture. Never seen that one.
That is a wonderful picture.
Their dad and mom lived across the street from my grandma McGuire. And Orb used to be a decal guy, wasn't he?
Orville,
Orville.
yeah, he worked there full time. Roxy was their mother.
And we got a great story on Roxy. We can't tell, I don't
Mhm.
think.
No,
But Orb would sit out on the porch with one leg up on the swing and smoking a
pipe,
corncob pipe.
yep. Smoked it all day at work,
Mhm.
the whole day. They were from Kentucky originally. Played music,
Mhm.
very musical family.
It was like Pangburn's operation out there at the southwest
West of-
corner of 45 and 36.
But I don't recognize the individual.
I thought you might. I think we've had him in a picture before.
Got initials?
CW is the name on the envelope. Oh, you know what? That's not him in the picture, though. Well, it says photo of ammonia tanks. It might be him in the picture. Name, it's 1954. Name on the envelope is Claude Ware.
Very prominent business person.
Was that part of their oil empire?
But
Did they capture
that's-
gas?
Well,
Well, it
There's
says
railroad right there.
railroad right there.
ammonia tanks.
Did they have that out at the farm?
Boy,
Now, Rudy Huber thought it might be Perry Stackhouse. So,
No, I don't think that's Perry. He's
He-
too little.
that Ware family moved to Jacksonville and used to be a Wareco gas station.
Wareco gas
There was one on the
everywhere.
way to 45 to Champaign.
Yeah,
Across from the par 3.
yeah. Some people don't remember where the par 3 was.
Yeah.
Well, it's across from the Wareco. There's Bill singing the national anthem.
I'm trying to.
this was 1948. Now, I've got, I think, 3 of these pictures. The envelope says Clyde McCoy at Tuscola Homecoming, 1948. See if I've got any comments. No comments. So I'm guessing that's Clyde, but I couldn't tell you.
I remember in the
Maybe it is
history,
Clyde.
in the history research, they would have a tent and a big band. They did this back in the 30s and the 40s. There's Guy Lumbago. Oh, there they
Oh,
are.
boy, hey.
1948. A lot of
Hey, man, I'm telling you, that's the way you used to wrap them up. See
You want to
there?
put the death grip on it, the Vulcan death clamp. They can't get away.
they were packed in there, weren't they?
Oh, they liked that. That was good when it got packed.
You get by a lot of stuff when it's packed in.
I mean, seriously now, he's got her wrapped up.
Well, you don't want to lose them. It's like land claim, you know.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. There's Phil White on the left and Doris sitting at the table, his wife. And back in the middle, used to work with him. Who was that? Jacobs that worked for him?
Might have been.
Becky,
Mm.
aren't you going to help us identify these people?
No, I just heard my phone.
Yeah, there's Phil White.
No way.
And Doris sitting down, and I'm thinking, I forget who worked there. I think Jacobs worked there, but I can't remember. Jerry Jacobs, I think.
Mhm.
I don't know who's there with the cane.
No, I don't either.
Well, there's the old depot,
Depot.
across from the community building.
Mhm.
What was that, the B&O or CNEI? Or B&O, I think, wasn't it?
Mhm. I believe so, but don't hold me to it.
Well, what if I did
I
hold
would-
it? What if I did hold you to it?
Then I'd be in trouble. I wouldn't have the answer. Bus Martin tore it down. We hauled it away.
Where'd you put it?
I forget.
Let's get the cars here. That looks like about a 64 period, 65. There's
This
a,
was in the late sixties. We tore it down. That's about a 64 Oldsmobile.
there's a
set.
Dodge Charger Challenger
like
down
it.
there at the end.
There's nothing on the envelope on this one, so.
Now, wait a minute. Let's see what
You can see how close it was to see where the,
now what are we looking at over here though? Let's look at this just for a second. This is that Dunn's Drugs over here they tore down? Are we looking southwest?
yeah, because there's Eisner's.
There's Eisner's, there's the old Dunn's Drug underneath
Yeah.
where they tore that down. Park now.
Couldn't tell. This looked like on the south side of the tracks, but
This is one on the south side by the Fullerton's elevator.
Yeah, and across that behind it is the that two-story building. It was the Lamb building. And then down below was the Dunn's Drugs,
Right.
and they tore it down, the little park there now.
the only way I could tell the orientation was right is by where the steering wheel is on these two vehicles.
Hmm.
And then that one-story building, of course, was the
That is the elevator where they would
With-
come up scales.
it way later
Yeah.
became a drop your clothes off
Yeah.
cleaners.
Where
Drop
do
your
you
clothes
go
off.
to, where do you go to get clothes cleaned now?
Drop your clothes off. Drop your pants here.
Yeah, I'll drop your pants here.
So that's either the B&O or the CNEI.
Well, there was,
You know what?
there were three of them, weren't there?
That may be the CSX because right across the street, they opened up a new office
Where the Hillard agency
where the
is.
Hiller Agency was. Isn't that CSX?
I don't know. In fact, this is not the one we hauled away. We hauled away.
Across the street.
Across the street,
Yeah,
across from the community building.
which
lot.
was in better shape than this one.
Oh, this thing looks like to me, it's kind of
Yeah,
tilted. Now, Mike and I watched the old elevator burn one night. Remember
yeah, that was fun.
Fullerton, the Fullerton elevator?
Nothing like good fire.
It's remembering Tuscola, remember,
Remember all your famous buildings burning down. You there, David?
Yeah, I'm just looking through the comments, see if I got any comments from people to add. Carter Morris says B&O Railroad.
Well, that's the B&O.
That's it for this week.
Oh, gosh.
Becky, how many did you get?
None.
Becky
wasn't-
helped this week, David.
Yeah, she did.
No,
Say thank you, David. Hi.
Becky, how are you? You're on the air.
oh, great.
Yeah,
That's Becky's fondest desire is to be on the podcast.
so that's it for this week.
I'm
Any,
sorry that we're out of order, David. It caused you a little grief.
You had to stretch a little bit today.
yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but they're all on there on Facebook, but they're just not in the same order that they're supposed to be. So,
Bill and I are not on Facebook.
so this week in my background, I've got a coal mine lunch bucket and hard hat.
So Ziegler gave you a bucket to take your lunch in?
No, you'd have to buy your bucket. Those are my dad's.
Stickers he put on it?
Well, you put stickers on there partly to identify your bucket by your stickers, because everybody's buckets all looked alike. But the coal miners would collect and trade stickers. That was kind of a big deal in the coal mine, was to sort of like challenge coins among the military. But it's just something to, if you had a unique sticker, you could trade it, and so that
Is there an advantage to that over the traditional lunch bucket?
I thought the miners had to have it arranged that way because everything was
Stacked it.
enclosed.
well, you've got there's a couple different tiers in there. So Dad would always have in the bottom a a Tupperware container of water. That's sort of your emergency water if you get trapped or whatever. You know, you've got that, and then on top of that, there'd be a metal insert where you have your sandwich and your apple or your cookie or whatever your wife packed you, and then he'd have a separate thermos, and he would keep iced tea in his thermos. You know, some people might have coffee, might have, you know, whatever. Are you guys frozen again? So, pause the recording.
The miner's bucket had to be arranged in a certain way, didn't it?
Well, what, a lunch bucket is closed.
Yeah, but there was a top to it, and then you opened that up, and there was.
I don't know how much you heard and what you didn't hear. Dad always kept a Tupperware container of water in the bottom as his emergency water. If you were to get trapped or something, you're going to be there a while. You've got a little bit of water. Then there was a metal insert on top where he'd have a sandwich and maybe an apple or a cookie or whatever got packed. And then he'd have a separate thermos, insulated thermos that he always took iced tea with him. I'm sure other people had coffee or some other drink. But
Well,
yeah,
if you had claustrophobia, could you possibly work in the mine? That'd be impossible, wouldn't it?
It would be for me.
depends. I mean, the rooms. It's like a room in a house, except you know you can't get out necessarily. But I was in mine.
I've been in those rooms.
Different mines had different ceiling heights, I guess. But I was in the Murdoch mine. You could walk around. It was like being in a school or something like that. Just no windows.
How about going down the shaft though? The shaft's not like a room, is it?
Like a big elevator. I mean, they had a slope where you could walk out if you had to, but then they had the elevator shaft.
But is there mining? Is there going vertical or horizontal for a mine? Those things aren't that big, are they? They'd roof them up, so
It's pretty good size. I mean, it's big enough you could take equipment down and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty good size.
David, our experiences with the mines are one of our favorite movies, 1941, How Green Was My Valley.
was not good.
It was really wonderful.
Well, one of the things that and Dad would talk about this, and I think I've shown the picture. The walls are dusted with limestone to keep the coal dust down. So the walls were actually white, and then they would string lights through. So it was lit up, and it was, you know, you've got reflection of light off the white walls. It's not as dank as you might imagine.
Well, I'd probably go work there then.
Yeah, you do really well down in the coal mine, Mike.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm gonna be down there quick enough. I don't need to go down there, look for it.
I'm sure all the boys at lunch would be happy to have you there.
Yes, yes.
You could.
I'm sure you would do well with the hazing ceremonies.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about that.
They freeze you up like a pig.
Well, I could pay them back with my stomach troubles. They'd regret it if they upset me.
Most of the miners had had nicknames. Hair Bear, Wormy. I asked some of the miners what my dad's nickname was, and they've all said he didn't have a nickname.
But he was a supervisor, wasn't he?
No, he was an electrician.
But he didn't have a name. Well,
But Dad's one of those people that just don't give a nickname to.
Oh, he's gonna hit you in the mouth?
Well, I don't know. There's something about him.
No, the man with no nickname. Sound like
He had a nickname when he was a kid. His family called him Sonny.
what was your nickname again when you were a little boy?
I didn't have a nickname.
They didn't know his name.
As far as, you know,
Are you just one of those guys that don't have a nickname?
I had a nickname till I was about 5 years old, until I threw a fit and told him to stop calling me that.
Well, it's illegal in 7 states.
Oh, my mom's family, she had 11 brothers and sisters. They all had nicknames.
Mhm.
It's like, well, you don't have enough names to remember. Now you got all these nicknames.
My mom had 10. They were a family of 10. What happened to good old large families?
They went out with the economy.
Who can afford them?
Who can afford it?
Well, a lot of poor countries, the more kids you have, the more they can go out there with a young kid and make a quarter or a nickel, feed the family. Large
Well, that's-
families need to stay alive. And
That's the way it was here when we were more of an ag economy and you needed kids to help work on the farm.
Mhm.
So
well, I did my
the
part.
Amish still have a lot of kids, probably
Yeah.
for the same reason.
Yeah.
I thought about you today.
Did you?
Remembering Tuscola. Yeah, I heard a song today. And I remember you were, of course, you would tell everyone you were good, and you were good. You were a good dancer
Mhm.
because your sister taught you.
Mhm.
And I heard that song, 1958, Bobby Freeman, Do You Want to Dance?
Mm,
It was a great dance song. They used to
It
have it
was.
on the hop,
Yeah.
everything. But I was thinking about old music. You want to tell someone before
Do
it's
you
too
want-
late.
Yeah.
You were a good dancer. You
Yeah.
were.
I was forced into it.
That's all right.
I've written about that. I'd stab my sister in the shoulder with a fork.
Yeah.
And my recompense, my journey back was to dance with her. She needed somebody to dance with. We became pretty good dancers. We danced.
Oh,
on the,
you were good. You
we
danced
danced-
at the hop.
We danced on the hop.
Yeah, you were a good dancer.
I
remember.
remember
very
grade
well.
school. All Duency and I were good dancers. I remember a lot of dates were good dancers. You were known for your slow dancing and your Vulcan death grip.
Well, unfortunately, in my learning how to dance years, disco was popular.
Disco here, disco there.
John Travolta.
Disco duck.
Yeah, no, Bill and I missed the disco era.
Thank God.
I remember some of the junior high girls teaching me to dance at school.
Well, you want to learn in the privacy of your home for a few months before you make a fool of yourself in public.
Hey, I was okay with the girls teaching me how to dance.
Well, the problem with disco was people let go of each other. When I danced, you were always touching each other. Even fast dancing, you were holding hands and twirling or doing the double bridge or the doo-wop-si-wop. The hand over arms and slide it, you're
Becky,
always touching.
who's Becky's favorite dance partner?
Becky
Didn't have one. I didn't like to dance.
Becky was not a dancer. She was a
Didn't?
cheerleader.
Didn't like to dance.
Oh, Becky was not a dancer.
I learned how to dance. I mean, I was the guy when my sisters were learning how to dance. So I always learned how to
Oh.
lead. And
You were leading.
when it was my time, then I was always leading and it didn't fit well with Guy.
It still doesn't fit well.
No, it doesn't.
When you're the guy. Well, anyway, dancing was back then you used to touch, and then disco came along and they disconnected. And you might as well go dance in front of a mirror. A guy would just be in front of a mirror gyrating.
You still had slow
Go bathroom,
dances.
you wouldn't know it.
You still had slow dances. I would wait for the slow dance.
Did the disco era have slow dances?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I guess they did. Travolta did a slow dance on Saturday night
I
with Karen Gorney.
remember the dancing, the music for us was good for dancing. And but I think my favorite person to dance with our
Jane Furco.
one reunion. No, Connie Staler,
Oh, yeah.
Connie Joe.
How did Joe?
Yeah,
She was a good dancer.
She was a good dancer.
Rankins was a good dancer.
Sandy Rankins. Becky Alexander jumped too much.
She was a dancer though.
Becky's too excited.
Becky get excited, dance, jump up in the
Didn't
air.
go to too many dances.
You have to catch him. Bill, I've written about Bill down at the Mattoon Bunny Hutch when Jerry Lee Lewis came to town.
Yeah.
But Bill actually was up on had his hands on the piano, and Jerry Lewis hit a
Yep.
couple of high notes and knocked a couple of Bill's fillings out. I remember that. Remember that?
Yeah. Not exactly like
They
that.
did
Yeah.
they did a couple of Zydos,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
were on the floor.
I'm telling you,
You were there,
right
weren't you?
there.
There was a whole lot of shaking going on.
I did. A whole lot of shaking was going
And he
on.
was Bill was holding on the piano, and I was out trying to dance with a Mattoon girl, put the Vulcan death grip on her. They knew about it down there though.
Yeah, they knew about that.
They had the
Vulcan death
escape.
grip.
They had the escape move.
Oh, boy.
They had good times back in then, innocent times.
Yeah.
Were they innocent times?
Mhm.
Thinking of, it was that Mel's in Mattoon?
Gills.
Drive-In. And that was just like American Graffiti, just like Mel's Drive-In here was.
Yes.
And in that movie, American Graffiti, there is a Mel's Drive-In.
My junior year, we beat Mattoon High School at Mattoon, and they had a great team.
Bill Atkinson.
And we beat them, and we got in and out in the parking lot, they turned over Mike Pangburn's 40 Plymouth, his old car. They were throwing rocks and stuff. And we drove out of town. We were going to go through Gills, get everybody a hamburger and shake for winning. And they started egging the bus, throwing eggs at the bus. Very poor sports, the Green Wave. Green Wave, very poor sports. Little town Tuscola put it to them.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Mark Huddleston and those guys. Remember all those guys? Neil Pillar,
Neil Pillar was.
Ron
tall
Keddy,
boy.
Ron Keddy,
Yeah,
and Dick Tate.
beer distributor.
Dick Tate. Well, David, sorry you got them all mixed up.
A lot of fun,
A lot of fun.
good memory.
All right. We did pretty well this week, I thought.
97, I was keeping track, 97%.
97%.
Of
I wasn't
those we
keeping
identified
score,
correct,
though.
of those we identified correctly, 97%.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I'm about out of those Pettit pictures, so we'll see what we have for next week.
Oh,
but
boy,
Oh, boy.
that guy was good.
Let's
We'll
get
see
the
you-
minutes.
We'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.
Bye.